we're going to be doing some organizing. It's been about 2 months since I've moved into my apartment, but everything is still pretty much a mess. Today, I'm taking baby steps to tackle 2 spaces that have been stressing me out the most. Let's start with the entryway storage. It's not too bad, but I couldn't easily access things that I needed on a daily basis without getting frustrated. The bottom is for shoes, and I won't be touching that for now. To start, I took photos so I can plan virtually. With the photos right there, it's really easy to gauge the size of things, so there's no need for me to take everything out. I discovered this recently and it's been such a time saver. I'm just using Milanote, but you can use PowerPoint, Google Slides, or whatever you want. I just listed down everything I saw and made a list of items that don't belong so they can be moved out. Next, I'm dividing the cupboard according to ease of access, with 1 being the easiest. Since opening the left side cabinet door blocks the front door, I try to keep masks, shopping bags, and other daily necessities on the right. Now, onto the fun part, organizing. Dragging things around with my mouse definitely beats going back and forth and fumbling around in real life. Now, with a rough plan in mind, I can finally get to measuring and figuring out the type of storage solutions that I need. Now, moving on to this big junk box. I'll be moving everything into this storage bench. Since I'm starting with an empty storage unit this time, I'm just getting everything out in the open and grouping them according to different categories. I used to dive right in and figure things out through trial and error, but the problem is that it usually takes me forever because I always end up rearranging about 1,000 times.
Oh my gosh. Oh my...
I find it really helpful when starting with an empty unit to load things in first. This gives me a rough idea of how things are gonna sit so I can figure out what I need. This may seem counterintuitive, but if you're a visual person like me, then you might want to try this out. Now that I know exactly what I need for both spaces, it's time to do some shopping. After making a quick trip to Daiso, I'm just unloading and getting things ready before I start organizing. Now that we're done with prep, let's load the bench. I'm putting in this bookend to prevent the paper bags I have from toppling over. And I got these stackable boxes for plant supplies. Now that we're done with the bench, let's move back to the entryway. I cleared the shelves and I'm just preloading some of the storage baskets. Moving on, I'm just laying down the measurements of my drawer on the floor and trying to get a rough idea of how to organize things. I bought these dividers for the drawer where I'm going to be storing DIY tools, a few hooks, and whatnot. I really wish I took my own advice of planning things virtually because I literally stayed up until 2 a.m. trying to figure things out, and I still couldn't. I finally figured things out the next day. Now that all the prepping is done, it's time to put everything together. I thought of only using baskets since they look neater, but I'm glad I mixed in some stackable shelves for my bulkier items. The biggest difference for me was honestly just ease of access. Now I can get what I need without fighting with things in my way all the time. Which really goes to show that organizing doesn't need to be perfectly aesthetic. It just needs to work best for your own personal needs. I hope this video was helpful in some way, even if it's just inspiring you to get started on your own organizing. If you're interested in home decorating and tiny living, do subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.